Hey Vita fans, this is the Vitality Weekly News Update featuring yours truly, Kyle from the Vita Lounge. You ready to down your weekly dose? Well, bottoms up, and on we go. First up, Imago Softworks has announced that its upcoming shoot-'em-up title, Star Mazer, will be releasing on PlayStation Vita, likely coming our way after the PC version of the game hits early next year. Here's the description of what you'll be in for when it lands on our system. Quote, Star Mazer is a modernized fusion of two classic genres, the point-and-click adventure and horizontal scrolling shoot-'em-up. The game is highly replayable as both the point-and-click story and shoot-'em-up levels of each playthrough are procedurally generated and significantly different each time. In this regard, it is different from traditional point-and-click adventures, which were linear in their storytelling and did not yield anything new on subsequent playthroughs. The narrative progression of each playthrough uses open-middle gameplay, in that the story modules kick off predictably and the endings are varied and satisfying, but what happens in between is up to the predetermination of the story creation algorithm, as well as the choices the player makes, performance in the shoot-'em-up segments, and a host of other environmental, chronological, and enigmatic variables. End quote. The PlayStation Vita release date has yet to be announced, but as stated, it's expected to be sometime after the PC version hits in early 2017. Now that you know, keep an eye out. Next up, Compile Heart recently announced that Gun Pixies is headed her way via Shade, the studio that developed the similarly styled Bullet Girls series. In Gun Pixies, the people of Pandemo, the mother planet of the protagonists, regularly strip other planets of their goods. As a result of these actions, outsiders were thought of as untrustworthy, an extreme lack of communication being a huge factor in that lack of trust. When Pandemo's population began to decline, however, it came to be thought that interactions between planets might help resolve the issue. As such, players will take on the role of miniature alien girls on a mission to infiltrate and investigate a woman's dormitory on another planet. You'll explore huge rooms, shoot strange objects, and have an effect on the residents of the room, changing their behavior. If you're spotted, however, it's game over. As for the characters involved, we've been introduced to B-Tan, a delinquent soldier who likes cute women, and Kamepon, another delinquent who acts chill but loves her partner B-Tan. There's also some women of the dormitory named, including Amayo Sato, Minami Kaima, Kiratori, Misatori, and Eritori. Featuring 20 different types of underwear, bath scenes, butt-clinging costume destruction, tentacles, and even happy bullets which give the girls a jolt of good feelings when, quote, their backs are stiff, end quote. Gun Pixies is sure to be a game you'll never forget once you experience it. A PlayStation Vita exclusive third-person shooter with many adventure scenes, Gun Pixies is produced by Norihisa Kochiwa and features character design by Katsuyuki Hirano. It's headed to PlayStation Vita sometime next year in Japan, so keep an eye out. Described as a super fast-paced arcade tower defense game, Space Jacked is apparently headed to PlayStation Vita sometime down the line. Rotten Mage developer John O taking to Twitter recently to show it off in action. Protect multiple rooms, build turrets, and mow down mounds of enemies in this jacked-up title that promises to get your blood pumping. When is Space Jacked headed our way? We're not quite sure, but you can be sure that when we know, you'll know. It looks like fans will be able to get their hands on Gust RPG Blue Reflection, Sword of the Girl Who Danced in Illusions, March 30th, 2017 in Japan, Dengeki PlayStation revealing the title's release date in their latest issue. They also revealed the title's pricing while they were at it, noting 6,800 yen for the standard edition, 9,800 yen for the premium box, and 15,800 yen for the special collection. Now that you have the information, the ball's in your hands. We're happy to announce that at this week's Idea Factory International press conference, the Compile Heart developed Divine Prison Tower in Maryskelter was officially announced as coming to the West. In its journey across the world, the dungeon-crawling RPG will be renamed Maryskelter Nightmares, the Western release date currently set for sometime in the summer of 2017. It appears that the title will be coming with PlayStation TV compatibility, a dual English-Japanese voiceover, English subtitles, and even physical copies according to the recently launched official website, though the release date still hasn't gotten any more specific. Need more details? Well, here's the description of the title from our press release. Quote, Beware! The nightmare monster stalks you as you navigate this dungeon-crawling RPG. Stand your ground or use traps to slow down the insatiable monsters and escape to fight another day. You'll fight in turn-based battles that can boost up your allies with blood transformations. If you solve the dungeon's mysteries and satisfy the prison's desires, you might make it out alive in Maryskelter Nightmares this summer 2017. End quote. Maryskelter Nightmares is headed west in the summer of 2017, so keep an eye out if you're interested. Developed by Design Factory and Atomate, visual novel Hakuouki Shinkai Kaze no Sho has been announced for Western release as Hakuouki Kyoto Wins. Idea Factory International bringing the title our way in the spring of 2017. The first part of a two-part remake of Hakuouki Kyoto Wins includes 3 new character routes, offering something special to both old and new players. The title has been revealed to be coming our way with Japanese audio and English subtitles, PlayStation TV compatibility, and even a physical release via the newly opened website. Need more information? Well, here's the description from our press release. Quote, experience the world of Hakuouki in a whole new way with this remastered telling of the beloved visual novel Hakuouki series, first developed and released in 2008. As the Bakumatsu period in Kyoto ends, the young Chizuru, determined to find her father, will romance the famous samurai of the Shinsengumi through a series of engaging stories and dramatic events. Now experience new characters, love interests, and episode in the world of Hakuouki Kyoto Wins this spring 2017, end quote. Hakuouki Kyoto Wins is due out sometime in the spring of 2017. Are you swooning for it yet? I kinda am. Now on to a little bad news, as Dimitrios developer Cowcat has announced that the game will be delayed by 3 weeks, pushing the title into the first week of December. Here's the important bits via the upcoming Vita Games thread over at NeoGAF. Quote, bad news everyone, Dimitrios was supposed to come out next week, but due to some worrying bugs with saves reported by reviewers, I've decided to push back the release of Dimitrios on Vita to December 6th. Truly sorry, I prefer to make sure I don't release the game in a potentially broken state. End quote. While a delay is never fun, I think we'd all prefer a working game to one with issues, so we can weather the wait. I think we all hope that 3 weeks is all that's needed though, as nobody likes to wait very long. Dimitrios is now due out December 6th in North America and Europe, so make a note of it. Eldia have announced a remaster of the 1994 PC visual novel Desire for the PlayStation Vita, and Famitsu has brought some initial details our way. Titled Desire Remastered Version, this new version of the game is slated for launch this spring. Set on a remote island in the Southern Sea, this game takes place at the titular Desire Research Institute, where everything studied is mysterious and unknown to the outside world. A journalist named Albert, the protagonist, visits this remote island to see his significant other, Makoto, and as a result the two of them are caught up in a major incident that occurs. What exactly happens? Will the two survive? What mysteries lie on that island? You'll be able to find out for yourself when this digitally remastered version of the game hits Vita. It uses the SS version of Desire as its base, and introduces new eye and mouth animations as well as new CG scenes to the mix, offering a much better looking experience than the original. But when can you pick it up? Well, we've got those details too. Desire Remastered version is set to launch April 27, 2017 in Japan. Mark those calendars. Good news everyone, as the official Limited Run Games Twitter account has announced that Stealth Inc., a Clone in the Dark Ultimate Edition, will be up for pre-order physically on November 25th, showing off the cover art and an attached image. Mark your calendars and make sure to be there for the 7 a.m. Pacific or 3 p.m. Pacific releases, else you might never get a physical copy of this stealth platformer. You do want one, right? In the last bit of news for the week, Jasper Byrne's pixelated horror adventure game is headed to physical copy thanks to the guys over at Limited Run Games. Announced via tweet, it looks like Lone Survivor Director's Cut is headed to the land of the physical thanks to Limited Run Games. The pixelated horror title getting a 4.5 out of 5 in review by our very own Paul Murphy, and a high recommendation by myself as well. As such, I don't know what's scarier. the game's creepy, crawly atmosphere, or that it will only be available in limited quantities. Exact numbers have yet to be announced, but we got a look at the box art thanks to the announcement tweet. Lone Survivor Director's Cut is up for physical order sometime next month, so be sure to follow @LimitedRunGames on Twitter or keep an eye on the Vita Lounge for exact dates once they're announced. Anyways, that's all for the news recap this week, which means it's time for a rundown of newly released trailers, the following titles having either a new trailer or new footage released since I last sent some Vitality your way. Akiba's Beat, Atelier Shally Plus, Gun Pixies, Hakuouki Kyoto Wins, Maryskelter Nightmares, Momo Niji Taizen 3, Root Letter, Space Jacked, Star Mazer, Sword Art Online Hollow Realization, Touhou Genso Wanderer, and more. So those are the standout happenings from the last 7 days. Make sure to check back here around this time next week for another new update of Vitality. Hit up the Vita Lounge for the full stories and all the bits I didn't cover, and of course, have a great week of Vita gaming. See you next week, guys.